She was one of the world's highest-paid models: Dior, Dolce & Gabbana, Cartier. Then, Monica Bellucci tried to conquer Hollywood. Their verdict? No thanks. Too foreign, too sensual, too European. Pierce Brosnan screen-tested with her for Bond and begged the studio to cast her. They chose an American instead. The Matrix gave her 5 minutes of screen time. Every script that landed on her desk: play the exotic beauty who dies, seduces, or stands there looking pretty. This is a woman who spoke 5 languages, made millions on runways, and had European directors fighting over her. Hollywood's response: just don't talk too much. Your accent confuses audiences. The same woman who had the Vatican condemning her, who earned French knighthoods, who built a €45 million empire. Hollywood couldn't figure out what to do with her except make her decoration. But here's the twist. Monica Bellucci became the biggest star to never need Hollywood. At 60, she's dating Tim Burton, while actresses half her age are still auditioning for the roles she walked away from. How exactly did she become a legend? By failing in the place where legends are made. And meanwhile, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new untold stories about Hollywood stars. Smash that like button and hit the notification bell. Monica Bellucci was born on September 30th, 1964, in Città di Castello, a small Umbrian town in central Italy where everyone knows everyone and dreams stay local. Her father, Pasquale Bellucci, drove trucks for a living, working long hours to support his family. Her mother, Brunella Briganti, was a painter with artistic sensibilities that would later influence Monica's aesthetic choices and appreciation for beauty in all its forms. Their only child wasn't supposed to become an international icon. She was supposed to follow a sensible, respectable path through life, perhaps become a lawyer or a teacher, someone the town could be proud of in conventional ways. Growing up in Città di Castello, a Renaissance town of fewer than 40,000 people, Monica was surrounded by art and history. The medieval architecture, the cobblestone streets, the centuries-old churches, all of it seeped into her consciousness. She was a serious child, bookish, with a face that already hinted at the classical beauty she'd become. Her parents raised her with strong values: work hard, stay humble, don't seek attention. Very Italian, very traditional. And for a while, she did exactly that. University of Perugia, early 1980s. Monica Bellucci sits in law lectures, parsing legal codes, planning a career as a lawyer. She's good at it too. Excellent student, sharp mind, disciplined approach to her studies. Her parents are proud. Their daughter is going to be a professional, someone respectable in their conservative community. She commutes from Città di Castello to Perugia for classes, living a quiet life of textbooks and future plans. But here's the thing. She needs money for tuition. University isn't free, and her parents can't cover all the expenses on a truck driver's salary. So she starts modeling on the side, just a little job to pay the bills. At 13, she'd done her first modeling job. A local agency needed a girl for a photo shoot. By 19, while studying law, she begins taking more assignments. Nothing glamorous at first. Fashion shows in provincial Italian cities, catalog work, the kind of modeling that barely qualifies as a career. She's tall, 5'9", with features that photographers can't stop staring at. Those eyes, that mouth, the way light falls on her face. Until elite model management sees her photos and everything changes. One minute she's studying torts and contracts. The next, she's on a plane to Milan, the epicenter of European fashion, where scouts are telling her she could be one of the greats. It's 1988. She's 23 years old. The law books gathered dust back in Città di Castello. The modeling contracts multiply at an exponential rate. Milan in the late 80s and early 90s is fashion's golden age. Naomi, Linda, Cindy, Christy. The supermodels are becoming household names, commanding unprecedented fees, gracing magazine covers worldwide. And now there's Monica, the Italian goddess with the face that launched 1,000 campaigns. By her mid-20s, she's not just another pretty face, she's the face. Dolce & Gabbana make her their muse, recognizing in her something that transcends typical model beauty, a classical Mediterranean sensuality mixed with genuine presence. She embodies their vision of Italian womanhood, sensual but sophisticated, powerful but feminine. Domenico Dolce and Stefano Gabbana build campaigns around her. French Elle puts her on covers repeatedly. Dior wants her. Cartier wants her. She walks for Valentino, for Versace, for every major house in European fashion. She masters the runway with this walk that photographers describe as hypnotic, feline, commanding. There's a deliberateness to how she moves, a consciousness that this isn't just about displaying clothes, it's about creating desire, telling a story with your body. She moves between Paris and Milan like she owns both cities, becoming a fixture at fashion weeks, commanding fees that make her financially independent by her late 20s. By 1990, she's earning money most people won't see in a lifetime, but there's an emptiness to it. She's successful, yes, but something in her knows this isn't enough, but something's already stirring beneath the surface. While other models party their earnings away at clubs like Les Bains Douches in Paris, Monica saves methodically. She's witnessed what happens to models who assume the work will last forever. It doesn't. Beauty fades, trends change, agencies move on. While others chase fame in the nightclub circuit, she studies languages with the dedication she once applied to law. French, English, eventually Spanish and Portuguese. She's reading Proust in French, discussing Fellini in Italian, absorbing Almodovar in Spanish, building something bigger than a modeling career, even if she doesn't know what yet. Modeling was never the dream, she'd later say with characteristic directness. It was a means to independence, to seeing the world, but I always knew I wanted more substance in my work. And you can tell she means it, because when film opportunities start appearing in the late 80s, she doesn't hesitate. She jumps. The transformation begins with Italian television, small parts in productions that barely register internationally. She appears in Vita coi figli, 1990, a television series. She's learning on the job, studying how cameras work differently than fashion photography, how movement and voice create character, how acting is about being rather than appearing. Then, fate intervenes in the form of a magazine. It's 1990, and Roman Coppola, Francis Ford Coppola's son, is flipping through an Italian fashion magazine. He stops at an image of Monica in a Dolce & Gabbana spread, looking like a Renaissance painting come to life. All dark eyes and classical features that seem carved from Carrara marble. He runs to his father. "This is her. This is your vampire bride." Francis Ford Coppola could have done the Hollywood thing, called in dozens of actresses, held proper auditions, made them read sides. Instead, he looks at the photo and says, yes. That's how Monica Bellucci lands her first Hollywood role in Bram Stoker's Dracula, released in 1992. Not through connections or agents or the usual Hollywood machinery, through a single photograph that made a director's son stop mid-page flip. She shows up on set, this Italian model who's never done a Hollywood film, barely speaks English. Gary Oldman's there in full Dracula makeup. Anthony Hopkins is Van Helsing. Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves are the leads. And Monica, she's got maybe 5 minutes of screen time as one of 3 vampire brides. But watch those 5 minutes. Watch how she moves, how she holds the camera's attention even when she's not speaking. There's this scene where the bride seduces Keanu Reeves, and Monica, without a single line, manages to be terrifying and magnetic at once. Coppola sees it too. Later, he'd say she had this quality that transcended language, that she could communicate volumes with just her presence. It's why her photograph was enough. The camera would love her the same way. But here's the crucial part. This break should have opened every door. A Coppola film on your resume is golden, except Hollywood sees her Dracula scenes and thinks, perfect, another exotic beauty we can use for atmosphere. She returns to Europe and her modeling career continues to flourish. But now she's serious about acting. She moves to France, sensing opportunity in European cinema's more mature approach to women. She takes French lessons intensively, determined to work in the language. And that's when everything really begins. L'Appartement happens in 1996, directed by Gilles Mimouni. Her first major role opposite this magnetic French actor named Vincent Cassel. And boom, César nomination for Most Promising Actress. The French get it immediately. This isn't just a beautiful woman. This is an actress with depth, capable of portraying complex emotional states. The chemistry between Monica and Vincent is electric, palpable on screen. Critics rave, audiences are captivated, and off-screen, something else is happening. Monica and Vincent fall in love. Two passionate artists, both intense, both uncompromising. They begin a relationship that will define both their personal and professional lives for years to come. Vincent, the bad boy of French cinema with his dangerous charisma. Monica, the Italian goddess who refuses to be just a pretty face. Together, they become European cinema's most magnetic couple. But when Hollywood calls again, and they always call when you prove yourself elsewhere, it's always the same limiting roles. The exotic beauty, the mysterious foreigner, the seductress who exists only to tempt the American hero. 1997 becomes a pivotal year. Pierce Brosnan sits across from Monica Bellucci for a screen test. Tomorrow Never Dies needs a Bond girl, specifically Paris Carver, 007's former flame. Brosnan sold immediately. The chemistry works. He wants her. He advocates for her. The studio executives want an American. The fool said no, Brosnan would later say, not because she couldn't act, not because she didn't look the part, but because she was a European unknown. Think about that for a moment. Here's Monica Bellucci, already a star in Europe, César-nominated, speaking multiple languages, bringing incredible presence, and they pass because her passport's wrong. Terry Hatcher gets the role instead. This rejection sets the pattern for everything that follows. Hollywood wants Monica Bellucci, but only on very specific terms. They want the face, the body, the accent, but packaged in safe, predictable ways. She flies back to Europe. No public complaints, no bitter interviews, just this quiet understanding that Hollywood has shown its hand. And here's what's brilliant about Monica Bellucci. Instead of begging for acceptance, she builds her career elsewhere. She takes roles in Milena, 2000, directed by Giuseppe Tornatore, where she plays a Sicilian beauty whose life is destroyed by small-town jealousy. It's a substantial role, one that explores female objectification and societal cruelty. The film becomes an international success, and Monica's performance is acclaimed. Her personal life takes a significant turn in 1999 when she marries Vincent Cassel in Monaco. She's 35, he's 33. It's a union of equals, two artists at the height of their powers. Their wedding is private, intimate, reflecting their preference for keeping their deepest feelings away from the public eye. In 2001, the couple has been married 2 years when Monica shoots one of the most iconic photo shoots of her career. Esquire magazine photographs her lying across cream silk sheets, her body adorned with nothing but strategically placed dollops of caviar. The image becomes infamous. The magazine proclaims her the ultimate object of desire. Object. Let that word sit. Askman ranks her. Maxim lists her. Men's Health calculates her attractiveness like she's a sports statistic. It's very boring, Monica says about these breathless write-ups. Nobody believes it. I don't believe it. But Hollywood believes it. Oh, how they believe it. Every script that lands on her desk, beautiful woman who dies, beautiful woman who seduces, beautiful woman who exists only to be looked at. Then, Monica makes a choice that stuns everyone. In 2002, director Gaspar Noé offers her Irreversible, one of cinema's most controversial films. The role requires her to endure a 9-minute rape scene filmed in a single unbroken take, one of the most brutal sequences ever committed to film. Her real-life husband, Vincent Cassel, plays her boyfriend in the film and appears in the same devastating narrative. Why would the world's most beautiful woman choose this? Why risk her image, her marketability, her carefully curated perfection? Because beautiful women aren't supposed to be violated on screen. They're supposed to be desired. Because Monica Bellucci, the person, was sick of Monica Bellucci, the fantasy. The film premieres at Cannes in 2002. Hundreds of people walk out. Critics are polarized. Some call it exploitative. Others call it a masterpiece about violence and time. But everyone agrees Monica's performance is fearless, raw, completely devoid of vanity. When Hollywood calls again, it's for the Matrix sequels in 2003. She plays Persephone, the wife of the Merovingian. The role requires her to be devastatingly beautiful, cryptically European, and to share one of the steamiest kisses in blockbuster history with Keanu Reeves. She nails it naturally. But watch those films again. Count her minutes of dialogue. Count how many times her character exists for any purpose beyond being desired or providing exposition. The same year, she appears in Tears of the Sun opposite Bruce Willis. She plays a doctor, which sounds progressive until you realize she's basically a beautiful woman who needs rescuing. The accent that could handle legal arguments in Italian gets reduced to worried whispers in English. Then, Mel Gibson calls in 2003. He's making The Passion of the Christ. Does she want to play Mary Magdalene? No makeup, no glamour, just raw grief and faith and dirt under her fingernails. She says yes immediately. Watch her in that film. The woman Esquire covered in caviar now kneels in dust, tears streaming down her unmade face, embodying pure devotion. She's acting with her soul, not her cheekbones. In September 2004, Monica gives birth to her first child with Vincent, a daughter they name Diva. She's 40 years old, blissfully happy in motherhood. But she's also angry. Italy's parliament has just passed restrictive fertility laws. IVF only for married heterosexual couples. No donor eggs, no donor sperm. If you're single, if you're gay, if you're a woman whose biology isn't cooperating, too bad. 7 months pregnant, Monica poses for Vanity Fair Italia, completely nude, cradling her belly. The headline reads like a battle cry. The Vatican loses its mind. Official statements pour out condemning her exhibitionism. Church leaders call it indecent, immoral, an attack on family values. But Monica doesn't back down. These are religious and ethical dogmas, she says about the fertility restrictions. Women should have the right to use science to conceive, marriage or no marriage. Remember, this is Italy, the Vatican's backyard. And here's Monica Bellucci, their most famous export, their beauty icon, standing naked and defiant on newsstands across the country. Conservative Italy erupts. Monica's response? Silence. The photos speak for themselves. Years later, Italy would soften some of those fertility restrictions. Monica was there, belly swollen with life, when the conversation needed to start. She continues working steadily. Brothers Grimm, Shoot 'em Up, more European films where directors write actual dialogue for her. In 2010, at 46, she gives birth to her second daughter with Vincent, Leonie. 2 children, a loving marriage, a thriving career. From the outside, everything looks perfect. But by 2013, cracks appear. After 14 years of marriage, Monica and Vincent Cassel announce their separation. The split is amicable, they insist publicly. They remain devoted co-parents to Diva and Leonie, committed to raising their daughters with love and stability despite the changes. But for Monica, it's a profound loss. They were partners in every sense, artistically, emotionally, intellectually. The breakup is processed privately, with dignity, away from tabloid speculation. She doesn't give bitter interviews or air grievances. That's not her style. In the years that follow, Monica's personal life becomes a subject of media fascination. She's linked to various men, wealthy businessmen, artists, creatives who appreciate both her beauty and her substance. There are rumors of a relationship with artist Nicolas Lefebvre, whispers of dates with other public figures. But Monica keeps her romantic life mostly private, refusing to turn her relationships into publicity fodder. She's selective, careful, knowing that at her level of fame, every coffee date becomes a headline. She throws herself into work. European films, French cinema, Italian productions. She appears in The Wonders, 2014, On the Milky Road, 2016, working with directors like Alice Rohrwacher and Emir Kusturica, who appreciate her talent beyond her looks. She's in her late 40s now, and Hollywood has mostly stopped calling. In their eyes, she's aged out of even the 5-minute exotic beauty roles. But Europe still writes lead roles for women in their 40s and 50s, complex characters with real lives. But then something unexpected happens. In 2015, the phone rings with an offer that makes Monica laugh out loud. They want her for the new James Bond film. She's 50 years old. The franchise that once rejected her for being too European now wants her for Spectre. Sam Mendes, the director, tells her, "I want a woman, not a girl. Someone with weight, with history, with presence that comes from living. Monica thinks about that rejection in 1997. Pierce Brosnan fighting for her while executives said no. She says yes. On set, she corrects everyone who calls her a Bond girl. Bondwoman, she insists, I'm too mature to be a girl. When the film comes out, the media goes crazy. The oldest Bond girl ever. They say it like it's a circus act, but watch her scenes with Daniel Craig. This isn't some desperate grab at youth. This is a woman who knows exactly who she is. Men think when women can no longer procreate, they become old, she tells reporters. That's not true. They are still amazing. The same year, she conquers another fear. After decades of stage fright so severe she'd turned down every theater offer, Monica agrees to play Maria Callas in a one-woman show, Letters and Memoirs. Opening night, she's shaking. But she steps out anyway, performing in 3 languages, holding audiences captive with nothing but words and presence. Her personal life remains private, though rumors circulate about various relationships. She's linked to artists, directors, men who appreciate her intelligence as much as her beauty. She dates, she loves, she keeps it mostly to herself. Then, in October 2022, something magical happens. The Lumiere Film Festival in Lyon is honoring Tim Burton with a Lifetime Achievement Award. Monica Bellucci, 58, takes the stage to present it. Burton watches from his seat, this master of the macabre who spent his career celebrating beautiful outcasts. Monica speaks about his vision, his ability to find magic in darkness. Their eyes meet. Something electric happens in the room. Months later, paparazzi catch them walking through Madrid, hand in hand. She's 58, he's 64, 2 icons from different worlds. She, the European goddess Hollywood couldn't cage. He, the Hollywood visionary who built his own beautiful, twisted universe. I love the man, she tells Elle France in 2023, with the simplicity of someone who's earned the right to speak plainly about joy. Burton sees in Monica what Hollywood missed, not just the beauty everyone saw, but the artist who chose difficulty over ease, who made peace with being misunderstood. He casts her in Beetlejuice 2 as Dolores, a character created specifically for her. An undead soul, gothic, powerful, strange, everything Hollywood was afraid to let her be. At the Rome Film Festival, they walked the red carpet together. The woman who was too European for Bond in 1997 now partnered with one of Hollywood's most distinctive voices. Monica's daughter Deva, now in her 20s, models for Dolce & Gabbana, the same campaigns, same designers 30 years later. The cycle continues, but differently. Because Deva grew up watching her mother turn rejection into power, watched her choose integrity over easy fame, watched her build a €45 million career by saying no to Hollywood more than yes. The torch passes, but with wisdom attached. Monica Bellucci never needed Hollywood's validation. She has French knighthoods, the Order of Arts and Letters, the Legion of Honor. She has the key to the city of Florence. She has an Oscar vote as an Academy member. She has a career spanning 5 languages and 4 decades. Most importantly, she has proof that there was another way, that you could be the most beautiful woman in the world and still insist on being seen as more, that you could be rejected by the dream factory and build better dreams elsewhere. I'm glad I stayed in Europe, she said recently. No bitterness, no what-ifs, just a fact. The Hollywood that rejected Monica Bellucci for being too sensual, too foreign, too mature, they're still making the same movies, still casting the same types, still building the same beautiful cages. But Monica Bellucci is in love with Tim Burton, working on her terms at her pace. She didn't fail their test, she refused to take it, and honestly, that's the only ending this story could have had. The woman they couldn't figure out how to use became someone they couldn't ignore, not by changing for them, but by becoming more herself with every passing year. Some rejections are gifts. Monica Bellucci unwrapped hers and built an empire with what was inside. Proof that the most powerful currency is self-belief. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, stay with me. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos about Hollywood stars. See you in the next one.